Well, look who we have here. It's good to see you again. You'll have to forgive us, I know it's been a minute, but Legs and I here were in hypersleep for quite a while. We've been traveling to a new star system in search of a very specific planet, but we're not alone. Our new employer, the Emperor Napoleon, has sent one of his Imperial Marines with us, going by the name of Ryan. Word has it he only recently got this position after he apparently saved some space marines or something like that, who knows. But it would seem that our entourage is going to be quite useful and critical for finding our target on this new planet, as they have a bit of a history. There's a space pirate king by the name of Udo, the leader of the torturous marauders, and we think that we've pinned his location to this icy planet in the outer rim of the galaxy, frozen and uninhabitable, or at least you would think so. With as cold as it is here, something tells me that that liquid ocean isn't water. It's likely liquid hydrogen, and that would explain as to why the marauders have created something of a small outpost here on this planet, with even a few towns and cities popping up sparsely throughout its cold surface. Strangely, in the northern part of the planet, farther away from the towns and cities and other outposts, we were detecting two small anomalies. Most likely other settlements. One of them even had the basic signals from the torturous marauders, but the other not so much. Strange. Nevertheless, we plan on landing right next to one of these hydrogen depots where they're sucking it all up to make rocket fuel and whatever else they need it for. A very small outpost for refining. Perhaps it's actually for military purposes, and the towns that they're forming are for the refining. Nevertheless, no doubt this is probably one of their most protected places on this teeny tiny planet. They don't seem to have much in terms of automated defenses, although it seems that the pirates themselves are carrying some pretty powerful weaponry. Not to worry though, careful is our middle names. That's a whole lot of middle names too. We were on our way down, as careful as we could be, and immediately after landing we started opening fire with our lasers and our uranium turrets. Legs would rush to his precious mech to take this fight to those damn pirates. A good majority of them were killed in the initial attack against their base, making it a bit easier for us, but this still was not going to be any cakewalk. They quickly surrounded Legs in his mech, who couldn't come out of fear that the pirates might make it inside and damage our critical infrastructure. Thankfully though, with Orzo and Ryan giving some good cover fire, Legs could finally make his way outside to begin attacking them. Now, taking the mech behind the pirates on their flank, we could easily take them out as we were attacking them from both sides. And those few who had made it inside were promptly executed. We immediately began attempting to extinguish all the fires that had been set before our electronics burst into flames. Outside, Legs had to ditch his mech as it was heavily damaged. Legs, old boy, looks like you could use an assist. We rushed out, but after Legs hit the ground from a plasma blast to the chest, we had to rush him inside to ensure that he didn't die. Now that Legs was taken into safety, Orzo would finally finish this. Well, it would seem that this poor excuse for a base is now in complete shambles. Wouldn't you say there, pirate? Well, I suppose Cat's got his tongue, huh? I don't think he'll be doing much talking ever again. Well, one thing is for sure, the Pirate King Udo is definitely not here, and none of his very injured pirates that are groveling in pools of their own blood know where he is either, or if they do, their face was burnt off and they can't say anything. But as Orzo begins looking for clues of the king's whereabouts, it looks like Legs isn't going to be bleeding out today, as long as Ryan continues patching him up. I think he's going to pull through, but I don't think the same could be said for his mech. Ah, such a shame. It really has served us well, and we've gotten more than enough use out of it. I suppose it is time that we let the old girl rest for a while, and we'll try to rebuild him one in the future. Besides, there's no time to dilly-dally, as we need to find this damn Udo still yet. Something tells me, though, if we stay in place long enough to dilly-dally, I suppose, he should end up rearing his ugly head. I mean, just take a look around. There's hardly enough towns and cities here that are depending on this base, no doubt, for them not to notice that it's been completely destroyed. If we wait here, surely we'll have a caravan or two arriving. And in the meantime, we can enjoy some of these pirates' fine meals. We just need to ensure there's no brain matter in them. Oh, looks like we might have missed one. Where are you going, you little scamp? We can't let you get away. Wait a minute. We probably could have asked her where Udo was. It would seem that Ryan's bloodlust has gotten the better of him, although you can hardly blame him as he was once a slave of the torturous marauders under Udo himself. And that's exactly why he is the perfect man for this job. Our internal bits and bobs of the ship were somewhat damaged from all the shooting and also from the fire that broke out, so we would need to spend a good bit of time while we're waiting repairing it. Even though this planet is very, very cold, for some reason this area seems to be quite warm. And that also means that these corpses will probably start rotting soon, so we need to get them away from us. And while we're at it, we might as well go about deconstructing many of their electronics, like their batteries and solar panels, for some extra steel and components. Things are always breaking down on the ship, and we always need components to fix it. We started deconstructing some other spots around this little base, like their sandbags and things like that, just for some cloth and other resources that we might be able to sell. And this also keeps more pirates from using them as cover when they come back. Legs would also end up deconstructing his mech, that way we could salvage whatever useful components, such as a control module that it may have had left. These types of modules and items are crucial for rebuilding another. And now we just kind of wait. We are running around the town, checking out what the pirates were doing here, and also just trying to keep ourselves warm for the most part. This might be the easiest damn bounty hunt that we've ever been on, as we're just waiting for our target to come to us. It does appear that the reinforcements of the Marauders will be arriving in about a day and a half. So, in the meantime, Legs, old boy, old buddy, old pal, would end up working on new parts for a brand new mech suit. It's a little bit difficult as we're currently scrounging for gold, and that's what we need for some of the modules, and it's been quite a while since we built one, so Legs might need to take another look at the old manual here. This also felt like as good a time as any to give Legs, well, his proper nickname of Legs, as, well, we've been calling him that since basically day one of meeting him. Finally, a day and a half had passed, and the torturous marauders had arrived, and well, it doesn't look like Udo is among these pirates either, unfortunately. Such a shame. We were hoping that we'd be able to kill him with just the push of a button. Oh well. Now that was a horrendous sight to behold. I'm sure those pirates that are fleeing might just go back and tell the old brass, and it might just get back to the Pirate King. Well, we're hoping for that. However, looks like we got a live one here. Maybe you have some information, friend. Ryan came out and began tending to the gentleman's wounds with a little bit of dirt and snow to ensure he didn't bleed to death on the way back to the ship, where we would throw him in the brig for the time being. As we were carrying him back, he had some faint mumblings about Udo and Archotech treasure, we think he said, but he's a bit too injured to really speak right now, so once he's healed up, we'll question him. Here's the thing though, when Ryan came in to question him, he began to wonder, how would we know for a sheer fact that he's telling the truth? Well, there's only one way. Huh. Turns out he was telling the truth. Apparently, the Pirate King is on this planet searching for some type of ancient Archotech treasure and/or weapon that he plans on using to the benefit of the torturous marauders and their conquest across the galaxy. Thank you for your information, pirate. Now be gone. Ah, that's such a shame. He was such a nice guy. Well, at least we now know for an absolute fact that Udo is indeed on this planet somewhere. Hey, speaking of which, it looks like he's here. Ah, he's not here. It's just more of his foot soldiers. They appear to be wearing war caskets from what I can see. They might be a little bit more difficult than their comrades. For their sake, I sure hope so. Oh, look at that. It does appear that they're at least a little bit stronger. 3 of them ended up surviving our initial barrage from our ship, although 2 of them are severely injured. They kept on coming, which was pretty impressive, until we killed 2 more of them, and the last remaining one decided to flee like a coward. But obviously, we couldn't just let him get away. Whereas previously, we let a few pirates escape to tell the others in hopes that the king would come, this time around, I don't think we're going to give them that leisure anymore. I really don't understand it. All this chaos, all these dead soldiers, these pirates, and yet no sign of him. I think we're going to need to kick things up a notch. Thankfully, by this point, Legs has managed to get all the components and resources that are required to go about building his mech once more, a Mark II version, of course. We would end up having to wait several hours before it was finally assembled, but once that was completed, we were back in action, baby, rockin' and rollin', ready to fight. But not only are we ready to fight, we are ready to take the fight to Udo. Since he's not coming here, I guess we're gonna have to go out and find him, huh? Up and away we go. There's only so many places that he could be hiding on a planet like this. What, there's a handful of cities, if that? He's bound to turn up somewhere. All we need to do is make a little bit of noise. The bastardous marauders would begin flooding into the streets trying to take us out, and of course this would completely fail. And at the end of the day, we were once again victorious, but still no sign of our target. Looks like we need to stir up a bit more commotion here in the city. If Udo isn't here, he's going to know that we were. I must say, one of the biggest perks of working under Emperor Napoleon is his interest, you could say, with nuclear and fusion warheads. I think our little green, yellow, and red friend here should get our point across pretty well to these pirates. Obviously, though, we don't want to be anywhere near this damn city when this thing goes off, so it's time for us to depart. Well, if he's not coming to us, he's not in the southern cities. There's only one other place that we could really check, I suppose. We hated to have to travel this far north, given all of the frigid temperatures. Even Leg's mech was beginning to freeze up at the joints up here, but it was a must. We would begin attacking these poor, dumb bastards. Now, I realize that Udo is most likely not here. At this point, we've begun to realize just in fact that he's not going to be at any of these bases, but he is definitely somewhere on this planet, and we intend to find out exactly where that is. It doesn't matter how many hordes of countless pirates we have to slaughter to get to him either. We would spill gallons upon gallons of their blood as they began to flee the area, or at least the ones that were somehow still walking could. As for those who were not, they weren't as lucky. I'm done trying to interrogate these idiots. It's time that we check something else. Perhaps some of the arrival and departure records here at the refinery, just keeping track of how much fuel is going where. While Orzo is checking out the logs, we would also have Legs here go ahead and begin destroying all the generators as well as the refineries. No more fuel for you, I'm afraid, pirates. Alright, let's see. I'll be damned. Looks like we just missed the bastard. And it would seem that he's went to this unknown area just a few clicks north from the refinery. Well, there's no point in wasting any time. Now that we finally pinpointed the Pirate King, we're going to be heading back south to retrieve our ship. God only knows who or what he could have with him there. We are going to need all the firepower that we can get. And I'm sure that Ryan is going to want to meet his old master as well. Gentlemen, we have finally located the target, and it is now finally time for us to strike. It finally ends here today, my friend. The Emperor's will shall be done, and justice shall be served. Flight positions, everyone, flight positions. We need to get back in orbit, batten down the hatches, and let's get up there. Obviously, being in orbit around the planet is going to be much more efficient than trying to fly this big old bastard through the atmosphere, but it would also allow us the ability to use our advanced sensors to spy on the area where Udo is. A barren, frozen wasteland, just like any other area on this planetary body. However, in the middle of these hills, there was a rectangular, square-like structure that appeared to have some type of Archotech runes and/or origin. The structure also appears to be protected by an advanced Archotech shield, so our ship's weapons will never get through that. We could, however, see multiple vehicles at one of the entrances of the structure itself. I'm guessing this is indeed where the target is, most likely with many a pirate soldier. However, one of the biggest issues that we began to face is the fact that this area is very mountainous, and our starship would not fit there at all. There's no way for us to land. The only way in is going to be taking the shuttle. This obviously isn't exactly ideal, as our heavy shuttle doesn't currently have any weapon capabilities other than us on the inside, of course, and we don't have enough time to upgrade it. Thankfully, the ship's AI, Charlene, is still aboard, obviously, and is going to be watching over things. So if shit really hits the fan, maybe we could lead our enemies away from the Archotech shield and have our weapons firing down at the planet, but that is a bit risky still. Nevertheless, with the cover of darkness, we cautiously and slowly began to bring the shuttle down just outside the shield barrier. Now on the ground, approaching the entrance, we could see what we couldn't see with our sensors. The area was littered with the corpses of dead pirates. Unless they had some type of mutiny, something tells me that they were met with fierce resistance. We'd better find out for ourselves. It would seem that whatever this place is, it has its own Archotech automated defense force that almost look humanoid. We had no interest in this battle. Let them kill each other. We are simply here for the Pirate King, doing our best to ignore them all and continuing on our mission. There he was. We had finally spotted Udo rushing into a center room of the structure as we gave chase. As we finally pinned him down, he was interacting with some type of ancient console. We ordered him to stop and also to surrender, as we preferred to take him in alive for a bigger bounty so that the Emperor may torture him, obviously. But he simply continued, "Alright, you fool, have it your way. Open fire." Long gone are the days of peace for this galaxy. The return of the Archotechs has been foretold for millennia, and today it comes to fruition. Hey there, just wanted to pop in at the end of the video here, or if you're watching this in the future, the supercut of Season 3 of the Clone Army, and say thank you. Thank you ever so much for, well, watching the video and the entire season. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I hope you liked our ending, of course. I apologize if you are watching this in the supercut, that might not make sense, but it's been a while since I made a video in the Clone Army universe as well as the Space Bounty Hunter universe, because of course they're taking place in the same universe, and yeah, I just didn't really know how to really feel things out, and you know, I kind of lost some motivation there for a little while, and you know, it's always good to take a step back from projects and kind of look at them from another point of view and try to brainstorm ideas and stuff like that. So that's why this video took so long to come out, about 2 months almost from the last episode. So I do apologize apologize. And once again, if you're watching this in the supercut, none of this means anything to you, and you're watching it all at the same time. So that's cool, and congratulations. But thank you guys, again, ever so much for watching. Thank you, as always, for supporting and giving suggestions for mods and your ideas in general for the series. It really helps out more than you know, and as I always say, it makes these series not only my series, but our series, and I just really appreciate it, and I love you guys. None of this would be possible without you guys, so just, you guys are awesome. Big thank you to, well, you. But I hope you've enjoyed once more, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.